Okay, Shalom, Shalom, Kwam Yasha'Allah, Koholoimla, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakah HaKadosh. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. And just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Agwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan Nawaf, just coming at you with another quick lesson. Praying that it's edifying by the Spirit, and wanted to touch on this article in politics. You know, with these protests that have been going on, these Palestinians been turned up since, you know, I'm assuming since, you know what I'm saying, Iran shut off the drones or whatever towards Israel. So Israel is on the back foot from every area, man. You know, from every area. Not only are the Hebrew Israelites cutting into them with these scriptures on a day-to-day basis, they're not getting that backup support like they used to get. They used to be able to, you know, cast those spells, you know, do their little sorcery, use their media to push out here that, you know, they're being oppressed and, you know, all these bad things are happening to them. But people are not falling for that shit no more. It's not happening. And I'm assuming that these Palestinians, while everything is going on, has turned up the heat. But now this guy right here, Tom Cotton, with a name like Tom Cotton, you know that fucker owns some slaves. You know his parents, great grandparents. You know they own some slaves. You don't get no name like Tom Cotton without being into the cotton trade. But check out what he says though, and this lets you know the mindset of these so-called white people in America, right? He says Tom Cotton urges Americans to take matters into their own hands to stop pro-Palestinian protesters. See, take matters in. What are you saying? You were you know, you work for the government, brother. You know, what are you saying here? You want so-called white, because you know who he's talking to. He's talking to the so-called white race. He's basically telling the so-called white race, you should take this shit into your to do with these Palestinians that's blocking our roadways. You should handle it any kind of way that you feel fit to handle it. And you know, if it was up to him, if they were to kill somebody, delete somebody, take somebody out in his state, because I think he said he's in Arkansas, hey, he would look out for him. You know, he would, you know, January 6th they asses, you know, like Donald Trump is talking about doing. Everybody that is going to jail during that January 6th insurrection, so to speak, Donald Trump talking about, you know, if he make president, he getting their asses out of jail. He's overturning those sentences. Well, anyway, there was quite a bit of a turn up. You know, I get it that it pisses people off. You're trying to get to work. You're trying to get somewhere. You're trying to do something, and things are blocked off. Now, here where I'm at, I'm not sure if they mentioned it in this article. I didn't see it, but here where I'm at, you know, we're close to the Canadian bridge. You know, probably about, maybe about 30 minutes from Canada from where I'm at right now, you know, on the western side of Detroit where I'm at. But, you know, if I lived, you know, closer downtown, you know, because it's right downtown Detroit, you know, you can take the bridge or you can take the tunnel to Canada. They was even protesting that. They even shut that shit down. So, you know, the thing of it is that Israeli shit, it's not working out how it was. The Lord is starting to put them on spot. He's starting to, you know, put them on blast, and to show that these people, they're, you know, that shit they used to just pull is just not working no more. I'll put it that way. Anyway, let's get some of the article. It says, as pro-Palestinian protesters blocked major U.S. transportation infrastructure on Monday, from San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge, so they blocked that up, to the entrance to Chicago's O'Hare International Airport, one Republican senator joined Fox News to call for Americans to take matters into their own hands. Like, what do you mean by that? Is that no different than what Trump done? You know what I'm saying? You know, to have these people basically rush the building like how they did on January 6th. It's no different. Like, he should be able to be held accountable if one of these clowns was to do something. They're like, oh, well, I was just doing what Tom Cotton said. And you know he'll be backpedaling. Okay, it says Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton joined Fox Midway News programming and was asked for his thoughts. Well, I feel very deeply, deeply for all those people who are trying to get to work and trying to pick up their kid. Very worried about the diversion of police resources where it needs to be stopping crime in cities like San Francisco, where firefighters are having to go there when they might have cause for fire outs. Man, get the hell out of here. You don't care nothing about none of that shit. He says, I had to say, Sandra, I agree with you that you have to get these criminals early. If something like this happened in Arkansas on a bridge there, let's just say I think there'd be a lot of very wet criminals that have been tossed overboard, not by law enforcement, but by the people whose road they're blocking. If they glued their hands to a car or the pavement, well, probably pretty painful to have their skin ripped off. But I think that's the way we'd handle it in Arkansas. And I would encourage most people anywhere that get stuck behind criminals like this. We are trying to block traffic to take matters into their own hands. There's only a usual few of them, and there's a lot of people being inconvenienced. It's time to put an end to it. So, what are you saying? Basically, he's saying they should be coming out of their cars, throwing these motherfuckers over a bridge. What if they can't swim? What if they drown? What if the current takes them away? You know, what are you saying as a senator, right? Okay, so, but look, it's so-called white people over in Israel protesting Benjamin Netanyahu right now. What about them people? Well, I guess they're not on the streets now since the Iran strike, so to speak. But hey, what about them protests over there? Why aren't you saying, the Israelis should be snatching up Israelis and fucking them up and taking matters into their own hand? He's not going to say nothing like that. What about this little so-called white chick? I can't even think of her name. That big head. Every time I see her, she just look like a 80-year-old child. That Thunberg chick or whatever her damn name is. The climate chick with those kids that be running around. Them little so-called white kids running around gluing their damn hands and shit to the pavement. What about them? They inconveniencing people. He's not going to say anything like that about anybody other than not his race, not the so-called white man. Oh no, they're fighting for what they believe in. But when it comes to these Palestinians, they kind of look at these Palestinians. They can't absolutely look at them as Negroes because they're not the same people as us. But they do look at them with somewhat of the same disgust. Anybody that's not so-called white, come on, bro. Anyway, he goes on to say, yes, Sandra, that's what I'm saying. Hold on, no, because she asked him something else. Anchor Sandra Smith replied, clearly, Senator, as we watch this together, and to your point about the way different cities and states can react to this, you're obviously saying that in your state, you would deal with this much differently? As you heard from Paul Moreau, speaking from a law enforcement perspective, they know that there's cameras on them. See, that camera is kicking Esau's ass right now, too. See, Esau used to get away with a lot of shit before that camera hit his ass. That body cam that they be wearing, people filming with their phones. Esau hate that shit. They hate it. Why? Because it makes his ass, have to kind of... And they'll still whoop your ass, though. Don't get me wrong. They don't give a shit about... Some of them don't give a shit about no camera. They'll still lose it and whoop your ass. But that camera has kind of deterred them from doing what they really want to do to people, man. Okay, but it says... They know that they can't obviously hurt somebody if they're on camera, basically. And the removal of these protesters, there's obviously a very delicate balance to dealing with this. And the longer it goes on, it would appear the longer it is going to take to resolve it. So he goes on to say, yes, Sandra, that's what I'm saying. I sympathize with law enforcement having to deal with this, but I think it's time for private citizens who are the ones being inconvenienced here when they're confronted with these protesters just to solve matters of their own before the police even show up. Cotton replied, doubling down on his call for vigilantism. So he's basically telling and you know who he's talking to? He's talking to so-called white people. What you think he's talking to so-called black people? Like, yeah, y'all, he wouldn't mind it, though. Yeah, y'all jump out of your cars and y'all whoop their asses if they blocking y'all. No, he's talking to his own people. He's talking to Esau, Edom, the Edomites, the Idumeans, the so-called white race. This is who he's talking about when he's saying take matters into your own hands. And this is how we know, man, when Jacob's trouble really jump off. These so-called white people, man, the Lord is about to let these crackers loose, man. You, Jake, better wake up. Here you go. You got a sitting senator talking like this. He's not talking about no peace or resolve. He's not saying, well, I can see why they're doing what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? There's been plenty of protests throughout America. That's done blocked off shit. So he goes on to say, let me see. He says, look, most of these people could be easily removed from the streets. Have you seen videos, probably on the internet, of that being done in certain places? Those are always the most popular people on the scene, or the private citizens who took matters into their own hands. But you can get in trouble for taking matters into your own hands. If you hurt someone, that you can't just run up and physically put your damn hands on people. But Esau think he can. That's how we know that this is the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. That's at Job 9:24. He feels as if he can. But if you say if it was the roles was reversed and some Palestinians was like, well, shit, we gonna get these goddamn white people off the road. We gonna do it ourselves. You know? Well, what's this chick here in Michigan here, Rashida? You know, they hate her. She, well, that Somalian chick, one of those, I can't think of the squad. They call them the squad. These so-called, these women, one of them from Somalia, one of them is, I think an Arab or something, whatever the hell. Well, just think if that was the case and the roles were reversed, some of these these Arab leaders is like, yeah, we should take matters into our own hands and throw white people over bridges. The hell out of here, man. You already know how that shit gonna turn out. You already know how they'll twist that, man. Okay, so he goes on to say, but it's exactly this kind of radical activism. See? Radical activism. This anti-Semitic, pro-Hamas activism that are blocking streets and calling out police and firefighter resources. See? But you have Democrats like Joe Biden trying to restrain Israel, even after it's been attacked with 300 drones and missiles from Iran on October 7th by space, the worst atrocity against Jews since the Holocaust. They're worried about this radical wing of their own party doing this kind of thing now and doing it all through the summer, as you said earlier, and maybe even at their convention this summer as well. It has to end now, and we can absolutely not tolerate this kind of criminal activity. If you want to march around on a sidewalk or on a public park and wave a flag in support of terrorist groups, that's one thing. But to block the flow of traffic on major highways, that's a crime, and it has to be stopped immediately. See? This is how he's thinking. Hey, this shit is getting headlines, it's getting results. Because if they was just marching in a park, you ain't getting no results out of marching in no park. Maybe some of you Jake should be blocking off some shit, But I think, because he goes on to talk about the when Black Lives Matter had done some similar shit. I think it says Cotton has long been comfortable with protests being put down by any means necessary. In June 2020, he penned an op-ed for the New York Times titled "Tom Cotton, Send in the Troops." In the piece, Cotton advocated for using the military in U.S. cities to end Black Lives Matter protests gripping the country. The op-ed sparked controversy and led to a turmoil within the Times editorial team. See? So when it comes to you so-called Negroes sending the troops, but why wasn't he talking about sending in the troops for the January 6th shit? The insurrection that happened, when they was rushing the Capitol building. Why did he op-ed a piece in the New York Times for that? Because they're fucking hypocrites, bro. Hypocritical. And when you go into these comments, it ain't no different. These so-called white people, they're pissed. They're mad. They're losing their country. They're losing their position. And here you go. You got a motherfucker from a whole nother country talking about death to America. They were chanting that shit here. Right here in Michigan, up the street where I'm from. Right here, right up the street. Them damn Arabs going in. Death to America. So this is the sentiment that people have for this place, man, because it's such a wicked place, man. And the world is tired of it. But guess what? Israel not getting that support like it used to get, man. Man, people used to be... Now, you know, you got these other countries, though. Of course, they have to do what they do. They have to say, you know, the same old shit that they say every time some bombing happened or some shit happened. We stand in solidarity with Israel. You know, those NATO nations that's, you know, intertwined with them, they have to say that same shit, but they tired of them motherfuckers, too. You know, they tired of them, too. They gotta be. Anyway. Matter of fact, let's go into the book of Obadiah. This is the top tribe of Esau, Edom, the Idumeans, man. That's the biblical name for the so-called white race. People are tired of you in general. It's not just the Israeli ones. The earth just need new management, man. The whole earth is under a vibe of the so-called white man's running it to the ground, man, and nothing. It's like you know, everything is feeling oppressed. and it's trying to break free of this man. And it's going to eventually happen once the Lord comes, man. Well, let me start from the top here. I'm just going to grab a few verses out of this. Obadiah chapter 1. It's only one chapter. Edom will be humbled. That's the entitlement. That's the subtitle on this. Edom's judgment. New Living Translation side of it. Matter of fact, let's read it in the New Living Translation. Let's see how it reads. This is the vision that the sovereign Lord revealed to Obadiah concerning the land of Edom. We have heard a message from the Lord that an ambassador was sent to the nations to say, get ready, everyone. Let's assemble our armies and attack Edom. And this is what's coming into play. This is what's going to go down, World War III. That third woe. All these nations are going to come together, even the allies of America, the ones that are down with America right now, because they sick of America too. They sick of these Edomites in America, because they're doing nothing but running throughout the earth, causing discord among brethren. They constantly at war. They can never have enough. You know they're never going to be at peace. They're never going to be at peace. As long as they have the power, they're going to continue on going throughout the earth, and there's going to always be wars. Why? Because they make money off their war equipment and shit like that. Who you think own these factories that make the jets and the bombs and the fucking, you know, the missiles and the, you know, Black Hawk helicopters and the, you know, the who you think is caking off of that? That's the so-called white race. Those are white families that own these. It's like 2025, 2026 is right now. Same thing with these military complexes, man. They're making 25, 26, 27, you know, 25, you know, F-35 fighter jet, whatever it is, they making that stuff. And so by them making it, it has to be in use for somebody to buy it. So they're forcing a lot of this stuff. And then it's all about the elite too. We understand that, but it's all about the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai from the top. With verse 2, it says, the Lord says to Edom, I will cut you down to size among the nations. You will be greatly despised. This is what's going on, man. Let me get that in the KJV. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. And really the tribe of the, you know, that one, that because they're just the top tribe of the so-called white race, them Amalek, them Israelis over there. They ain't them so-called white people, man. They ain't no different than Tom Cotton. They ain't no different than, you know what I'm saying, Joe Biden or Donald Trump. They're all the same race of people. They're just a different tribe of them. That's all, man. And they're supposedly 2% of the population. When the Lord says that the Israelites will be innumerable, so we know that they're not actually the people. These are imposters that's in the land that's causing all this disruption in the earth, man. But they are greatly despised. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? And those Israelis, they're very proud too. Just Esau in general, the so-called white race, they're very proud. But them ones over there that's in the Holy Land, oh man, yeah, they're proud on a whole nother level, man. It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. See? So this is what's happening. You have an imposter claiming to be the children of the Lord in the land over there with all that wickedness going on, lying about when that the Lord brought them back into the whole. And these wars. Hell, nobody would be at war. These people have been at war since they've been there, since 1948. And then you got you're the Lord's people, but you're the very enemies that the Lord, the people that the Lord say are your enemies, they're helping you. There's a lot going on. Anyway, but all these on these so-called white people, man, from every angle, and they're not feeling it. It was a time when they was able to just step on you, man. Step on you, twist the foot and smush you, man, so to speak, and no one could do anything about it. Their own people would laugh, or they'll gang up on you and put the foot on you and smash you like a goddamn roach or something, or a cigarette butt or some shit. But that's not working anymore, man. It's clearly not working anymore. Let me see though. I think I might have been on the other phone when I've seen this other article. But if it is what it is. Not tripping on it. I'm gonna check the history real fast. Yeah, man, it's a lot going on out here. No, I don't think that. No, this is not the phone that I was in. It's the other phone, but it's pretty much it was one of those Palestinians. I forgot what college it was, but I guess she's the valedictorian or whatever for this year, and they don't want her to make her speech. I think they done shut her speech down. You know what I'm saying? As far as because these damn Edomites are so goddamn mad and they could cause an uproar, something to that extent. But Esau losing it. He's losing it, man. He done lost the narrative. The people are starting to, reveal who he really is. And that's really what's going on. Let's get that 2 Thessalonians 2. This is what's happening out here. He's being revealed. He's never been revealed on this level. So, see, they've never had to, this is something new to them. They've never had to fight in an information war like how they're fighting in the information war right now. They've always been able to just go on TV, say these are the horrific people, we're a sovereign nation and they're doing this to us and we have a right to defend ourselves. And the people are not having it. People are looking at you motherfuckers like, hey, look, we tired of our taxpayers' money going to you clowns. We don't want nothing to do with your wars. Our country is in shambles itself. We need to keep our tax monies here and take care of some of the problems that we have while we're taking care of your asses. You're constantly at war. That's a lot of the comments too. But with this comment, as far as this Tom Cotton guy, it's a whole bunch of crackers off in there talking about, yeah, you're right. And that's what it's all boiling down to, man. But anyway, there's a lot of people out here that they're starting to realize that, okay, we're supporting some very, I'm gonna keep it classy. We're supporting people that we shouldn't. I'll put it that way. 2 Thessalonians 2:3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. See, and that man of sin, that son of perdition, is being revealed in these last days, and it's the so-called white man. Mainly, the top tribe is the ones that's over there claiming to be the holy people. Those are Edomites, man. Don't let them people fool you into thinking that they're Israelites. They come from Abraham, Isaac, and Esau, not Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you are the Israelites. And see, it's coming to a full-fledged stampede, so to speak, with these because they don't know what to do. When so-called white people lose the information war, and because see, that's generally how they control the population, so to speak. And then from that stage, when they can't do it, violence start happening throughout the earth, man, with these people, because they're losing they're losing on all sides, not just the info war. This new they can't afford to go. I can't do what I want to do. I should be able to go vacation. I should be able to look, man. Niggas been just working. Just been working. I don't recall ever taking a vacation in my life, even though I had the time. 40 hours. Verse 4 says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he is God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Now, the ones that's over there in Israel, they don't believe in that white Jesus. A lot of them don't. Some of them do. Some of them do. But overall, that white Jesus, that comes down to people like your Tom Cotton here. These so-called white people here in America. You get to telling them about the Lord as the dark melanated man according to Revelation chapter 1, then, they get to talking about how his color don't matter. But they're not trying to worship and praise no Negro. But they're going to. In the future here, they're about to bow, man. They're about to bow. And it's not going to be to white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed white Jesus, man. But I wanted to point out, this violence is in this man's mind, man. Violence is in this man's heart. Let's see. He's clearly telling you as a senator, he should be upholding the law. He's basically telling the people, like, hey, look, man, y'all should go and whoop their asses. That's in so many words. That's what he's saying. He said there will be a lot of wet people. Why? Because they will be throwing their asses over that Golden Gate Bridge. Oh man. I'm going to get this Psalm. Let me start at verse 3. Psalm 73 and 3. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. You ain't going to see no outcry from so-called white people talking about, how dare you? You should never say anything like that. Now, if that had been a so-called black man, or one of, like I said, a Ishmaelite, or Chinese, or anyone, they be cutting all into their asses. How dare you? Talking about throwing white people over bridges. Bullshit. Terrorist supporters. Well, okay, what the fuck are you talking about? As far as I can see, they're protesting over, babies and women and shit being bombed and killed, and the humanitarian aid not getting in. I get them on that, because they have been showing some pretty graphic images. And you got to watch some other news. They're not going to show you the news looking like skeletons, dying from malnutrition and shit like that. Don't have no water, don't have no food. defecating and pissing in areas where you know it's causing disease. They're not showing you all that. That's why I tell you, hey, watch some alternative news, man, and you'll see what's really, or you'll get a glimpse. When they say, the shit flash across the screen that says graphic content, when they do that, and because sometimes they don't blur the stuff out. Sometimes they'll blur stuff out, but then sometimes you'll see somebody just laying on the ground, opened up, just fucked all up, blood everywhere. This is what TV has come through now, and people are, getting more, immune to seeing that type of them type of graphics. But you see some of that shit, man, that's going on with those people over there in the Gaza Strip, man, they getting fucked up, straight up. They getting fucked up, and this guy, he's talking about how these people are terrorist supporters. You see? So, hey, just look for more and more of this too. Look for more and more of this, because like I said again, Esau is losing that info war. That's one of the main things that you try and stop when you're in a war. You stop the communications. You shut down. That's how they, we know they're gonna shut down this internet at some point in the game. There's gonna be a famine of the word, so they made it up, but it's gonna be shut down to certain speech. They're already doing it. Why? Because the info war is being lost. See, they can't control the. Remember they had this huge campaign about misinformation? You know what I'm talking about. The COVID-19. If you had an opinion and it wasn't part of what they were saying, hey, they looked at it, they shut you down, man. Because I seen one article where they were saying basically these people are treasonous. Like, how the fuck are you treasonous and you don't even belong to this place? And see, that's you Americans' problem. You so-called white people, see, you got everybody here. And that's going to be a downfall to you. You don't have real patriots here. And it's crazy that your own so-called white man, don't want to join your military. And then the other people that's here, you got every fucking nation in this place. It all bulked off into this one continent. And they don't like you. They're just here to get your money. These nations that are really here, they're just, they're using a whore as the hoe that she really is. Like, hey, look, bitch, I'm just here to get mine. Babylon the Great, the virgin daughter of Babylon. They're like, yeah, bitch, all right. We see what's popping with you. I done caught on, bitch. I'll stick around with you, though. But I'm gonna be fucking other women. Pretty much, that's these other nations that's here in America. That's what they really getting down. Like, they here. You got a whole, man, ain't no telling how many so-called Chinese people live here. Ain't no telling how many so-called Japanese people live here. I know a huge community of fucking Ishmaelites or Arabs is right up the street from me. The ones that's screaming death to America, that's gonna change the vote for Joe Biden ass. It's that many of them here. You got Cambodians here. You got every race of people in this place. You know what I'm saying? And none of them are patriotic. Only ones that's patriotic is these slave ass niggas, man. These so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Those are the only ones that'll go and voluntarily join your military. Even over the so-called white boys here. You ain't about to see no Chinese people here that grew up here in America and been here all day. They fifth generation in. They don't speak no damn Chinese. They ain't about to be going to join no military, though. They not going to the military recruit. Their parents not going to allow it. And they don't need to, because why? Because they're situated. The only people that really join the military, they're not patriotic. They just go for the money. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, a way to get out, to get a free education, so to speak. They're not patriots. So when you have a situation like that, then that causes a problem. That's a problem. Here you go. You supposedly the best military, have the best military might in the entire world, but no one is patriotic to you. No one wants to join your military. All these people that qualify, they're fat as shit. They can't jump a fence. They can't run a block. they can't jump rope for 20. Can't do 25 jumping jacks. Motherfuckers can't do 10 push-ups. You're all out of shape. And this is the results of America really sitting back on the high hog for so long, not thinking that these other nations was going to come up and be on their asses like how they are right now. That's why you got that scripture that talks about, have thou become as weak as we? See, this dude, he's just sitting there, the shit he talking about, he might as well cut it out. He ain't about to send his son. I bet you ain't none, and I bet you ain't, he doesn't have a son, nephew, or nobody in the military. Right? Isaiah 14:10. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? See, these other nations, they've been building up over these decades. What has America been doing? Kick back, chilling, partying. See, and that's when shit fall apart. Not keeping their eyes on the prize. That's why the scriptures talks about to watch and pray. You know, to being a watchman. Where are the watchmen of this country? You know, where are the wise men of Teeman? Or where's the wise men at? Where these people at? You can look at, when you look at TV and you see these people in Congress, and you see even like the generals and the military guys that sitting around and they're having these, you know, these conferences or whatever about what's going on. Them people look fucked up. They look like they on drugs. They look like they just came from the back, sniffing a line of coke, popping a pill. They don't look together. 5 o'clock shadows and shit. Just looking like they had a bad night out. And then we ain't gonna talk about the, you know, the LGB, the transformers that's in there. This place is through, man. So this guy, really in reality, he should be worried about, you know, the more, you know, pressing matters. You worried about some motherfuckers protest. See, but that's the thing. It's then got to that point of these people able to do shit like this because you haven't been handling business on the back end. And that's what these Americans, but that's the Lord, man. The Lord has really duped up you so-called white people to kick back with that. See, that's what pride do too. You're prideful as hell. And now you're about to experience that fall. See, that's why that scripture talks about pride comes before destruction. You're prideful as hell. We're the best. You can't handle us. No one can fuck with America. And in the meanwhile, all these nations, they done came up and surpassed you. Proverbs 16:18. Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall. See? You never would have seen a so-called white guy like a Tom Cotton talking about no shit like what he's talking about right now. You know why? Because it never would have even happened to begin with. Wouldn't be no damn Palestinians here protesting in your country as if they're in their own country. And see, it's, you know, somebody gonna have to make a move. Somebody gonna have to do something, make a move, because they turning up now, and they turned up at the proper time. They're like, yeah, we gonna go and shut down shit. Major bridges, because I'm telling you, like here in Michigan, that Canada route, that's a huge, man. That's a nice import export spot right there. A lot of business transpire between America and Canada off that one bridge right there. And I'm not sure about the one that's a little further up. It's another one that you know. So they're cutting off major roadways because why? They're strategic. They're doing it because they know that it's gonna get results. And shit is all over the news, right? And the people's minds are not on helping Israel like that, man. That boat didn't sail. That shit is over with. I mean, it just is what it is. It's over with, man. And you know, a lot of this stuff is being created to try and get your attention back on Israel, especially with this guy, Benjamin Netanyahu. You know, he over there doing shit just to try and, you know, keep the attention on Israel and keep his ass in office, man, so his ass don't get arrested. So the people are not looking at it like that no more. They don't want their money going there no more. They want results here in this country. And guess what? It's not going to happen. Why? Because it's just the downfall of America. It's time for this place to fall. So I'm going to end out there. I pray that this lesson was edifying. Kwame Yashala.